Good evening, everyone. Today, my topic is about the Industrial Revolution. So, it's kind of a important history topic. So, the Industrial Revolution was the Industrial Revolution. It was such a thing which happened earlier in 18th century that has changed everyone's life forever. So this took place in during 1750, in between 1750 and 1850. So during that time of period, the people used to work so hard, literally hard, in such a way that all the things like agriculture, farming, and even homemade and man-made, they were depend on the man-made things. So literally all the clothing, footwears, and so many things which are required for household activities and for our daily life were prepared by the naturally handmade. So everyone were happy at that time, as they were working really hard to get some amount of money and all. So at that time, one day suddenly the person named James Watt, he invented a steam engine machine which literally changed everyone's life. So what happened that uh, when he got the idea from these people only, and when he started noticing that how steam can be converted into machine, and also he got an idea, and he invented a machine which was used or which was based on the use of steam. And so that when he invented, many of the which many of the people who were depend on the man-made working and all, they were literally replaced with no job and all, because when machines came into existence, the manpower was not needed that much, as the people were doing their best at their own way. So the machines replaced the manpower, and even the machines were working instead of 8 to 10 people at a time. So the machines made life that time really hard for so many of African peoples and all. As this incident took place in Europe, so by inventing the steam machine and all, the wait a minute. So inventing this machine, everyone got interested, and who were clever in and intelligent enough, they also started investing their brains and using their brains in such a way that a machine again started making more machines, and everyone got so much of ideas in so many fields. So one machine made lots of many machine. So the not only the industrial based business were growing rapidly, but also the transportation business were also expanding in larger amount. So the communication with other countries became easier at that time. So that was really good, and the exporting and importing business also took place rapidly. So the invented the train was invented based on the steam engine. So it was at that time, during 18th century, the speed of the train was 20 kilometer per hour. It's at today's speed, as compared to today's speed, it's nothing, but during that time it was more than enough for them. So this was the thing which took place. So the as day by day the machines started growing in the industry, so there was the need of many workers to come and work over there. So there was not a specific time for the workers, and also the workers used to as the many of the people living in the village area or slum areas, or middle class family people, whoever lost their job were have been forced to fulfill their requirement and daily life purpose things. They have been forced to come into the urban cities and work with them. So they have to leave their home and come into the urban cities where industrial places are there. So they were forced to work for literally 14 to 15 16 hours back to back, and there was no holiday for them. So people had no other option, so they were working and working on and on. So later on, even the even the people or who were the factory owners, they started taking the children's for working purpose and all. They don't even waited for the children to become an adult. And also when the children becomes 8.5 year, he was forced to work in the industry, and the work given for that child was literally on the high level work, and it was risky enough. So no people were really going against them. So as they had that much poverty, and they had money in their hands, so every people belonging to their work, and also they kept quiet because of so many things and all. And they, as they were slaves of them, so they kept quiet at that time. But later on, when the working hours has been increased, and the enforcement of children working in the industries, so many of the people came together and decided to speak against them. And also they decided, and many of them raised their voice against the industrial people. And also after a big resolution, there was decided the working hour of the day was made up to was reduced from 14 hours to 8 hours. And the child labor was been stopped from that time. And this was actually a good decision made by everyone. So there they had, the owners of the factory, they had no any other option to fulfill their demands. And also later on, though usually the people were working so hard for 14 hours and all, but they were not getting that much paid that time. So this was the really bad thing for everyone. But later on it got increased day by day. So the child labor was stopped at that time. And again the communication process, transportation process, and even the triangle has formed between Europe, America, and many of the side by countries. So the business took place very rapidly. And this was the great revolution which has happened ever in the history. And this was these were the changes which took place during the 18th century. Thank you.